Today we will go to America, specifically to an area called Pembroke Pines in the state of Florida, the Pembroke Pines area. On April 26, 2002, a girl was born named Mia Marcano. Mia's father was a famous or well-known DJ named DJ Eternal Vibes, and her mother was named Emma's Gabriel. Even though her mother and father were separated from each other, she and her older brother were living with her father and his new wife, but their relationship with each other was healthy, and the mother and father were always thinking about their daughter. Mia graduated from high school in 2020, and entered the University of Florida directly after her graduation. She studied there for a year and then transferred to another university called Valencia. At the same time, Kalja was working part-time as an employee in a student residence near the university called Arden Villas, which was known to be very luxurious. She lived in the same residence. I mean, her affairs were almost arranged because she slept and worked in the same place, which was close to the university. Her life was continuing in this manner until September 24, 2021. On this day, Mia was holding a plane ticket to go to Pembroke Pines to see her family. Unfortunately, Mia had work on the same day, even though she had a plane and had to travel, as she completed her shift at 5 p.m. in the evening or afternoon. Then she quickly left work to go home, get her things, get on the plane and reach her family. Her family knew that she would come and were waiting for her at the airport until she arrived, and indeed when the time came for the plane to arrive, the plane arrived, but Mia did not arrive because Mia had not boarded the plane at all. Her family tried to call her and send her messages, but there was no answer at all and no one was where Mia was. Because in short, it disappeared. At 9:30 a.m. on the same day, the family called the police to go check on her at her place of residence. The police responded and were present at the door of her residence at about 10 o'clock. The policeman who arrived knocked on the door 3 times, but no one opened. After a short time, her friend or dead relative came out. She opened the door and they tried. They entered Mia's bedroom, but the door was locked. Of course, the police came with an official permit because her family called, so the policeman saw that there was a window in the room on the other side that was open, so he entered the room from the window. The first time he entered, he saw that there were pieces of furniture placed in front of the door of the room, so the door could not open from the outside. Her belongings were scattered throughout the room and its furniture, and there were also blood spots on the bed on which she was sleeping. The situation was strange, based on the shape of the room, meaning that someone in the room was holding the door. Then he escaped from the window. The important thing is that the policeman asked Mia's companion if she knew if there was anyone in Mia's life who had a boyfriend who might have entered her room or someone who might have a relationship with Mia. She believed her and she answered and said that there was a person, Armando Caplero, who worked as a repairman in Arden Villas, and she said that Armando was always trying to get along. But Mia rejected him and told him we were just friends. Of course, at that time, her family were definitely not sitting at home and waiting. No, they were preparing themselves for him to come and look for their daughter. They arrived on the same day at approximately 3 p.m., and when they reached the officer who came to see Mia, he was still there and investigating the matter. Of course, the family went to their daughter's room. They came back and told the policeman that there was something else strange in the room other than the things the policeman had seen, that there was a box cutter under the carpet in the room, and the strangest thing of all was that suddenly Armando came to the place where the incident happened, and when the policeman started talking to him and asking him, he started talking about a person named Com. When the family saw Armando, they became angry with him and started saying that they knew about his relationship with Mia and that they knew that he was trying to get involved with her and so on. But he was denying this thing, and unfortunately the police let him go, even though there were many suspicions surrounding him based on the words of the family and Mia's friend, and his presence in the crime scene at 4 in the morning alone is enough to make you suspicious of him. But even so, because there was no official or concrete evidence against him, the police let him go. When the morning came, the police made brochures that Mia was missing, etc., and they were dealing with the matter routinely, but of course, Mia's family was very suspicious of Armando, and they began secretly following him until they monitored his movements and saw whether he would do something suspicious or not, or if it was possible through their surveillance to reach Mia. Indeed, the family saw something very strange. When Armando got out of his car, we took gloves, a bag, and a blanket with him. The first time the family saw the blanket, they thought it was Mia's blanket, so they called 911 quickly, and the police came. Of course, the police came quickly to see Armando, and because they came quickly, they did not have a permit to search the house, so they could not. They went in and searched, but Armando told Mia's family, "Go in and search your cabin." They actually went in and did not see anything strange. They left to no avail. Once again, the police left Armando behind or did not arrest him because there was no concrete evidence against him. Of course, the family is very suspicious that Armando has anything to do with the disappearance of their daughter, who they do not yet know if she is alive or dead, and at the same time they are unable to bring him down. The suspicion increased more and more when it became 3 p.m. and Armando got into his car and he disappeared as well, and no one knows where he went. At this time, the police also became more suspicious of him, and when they thought about the matter a little, they discovered that he might actually be involved in the situation, so they finally issued an official arrest warrant for him and went to his house to take them. But this happened at 4:30, meaning when they arrived at the house, Armando was gone and disappeared. At this time, the police were beginning to investigate the case a little further, and they discovered through their investigation that on the day that Mia disappeared at 4:30, someone entered her master room to find the keys that were in the form of a card. Of course, as we said, Mia finished her work at 5, not she came to the room at 4:30. There is only one person who has this key, and he may have entered the room, and that is the repairman Armando. Of course, they still do not know if it was definitely Armando who entered, or so they contacted the employer, and through the system they had, they were able to know that Mia's room was actually opened at 4:30 using the repairman's key. Armando. The big question now is, where is Mia? Where is Armando? Are they together or not? We received an answer to one of these questions on September 27, 2021, through a 911 call. The person who made the call was a cleaning lady in a nightclub called Seaball, and when she was entering the club's garage, she saw a person committing suicide, and this person was Armando. This thing made the case a lot more complicated because he is the only suspect in the case and 90% is the person who has information about Mia, and unfortunately this means that we will not know the information he has for the rest of our lives. After the only suspect in the case was gone, the police focused on searching for Mia until they knew where she was or whether she was alive or not. There were large groups and many search teams consisting of Mia's family and relatives, the police, and the FBI. They were all searching for Mia in the rivers and forests, especially in the areas around its inhabitation. At the same time, the police were trying to collect information about Armando's recent movements, and they estimated, through the network towers that Armando's cell phone called, that they knew the places that Armando had gone to before he committed suicide. One of the areas where Armando was deposited is called Timber Scan. It is known as a very dangerous area in which many crimes occur because it is deserted, most of its houses are empty, and there is no one. Armando's presence there does not bode well at all. The police began conducting searches in the area, and unfortunately, on the morning of October 2, 2021, Mia's body was found. Her wallet containing her personal ID was lying next to her. Mia was bound with black tape and was almost naked. She was only wearing jeans. Of course, everyone naturally asks who did this, because all the evidence in the case says that Armando was the one who did it, so we can say that Armando was the one who did it, but unfortunately he committed suicide before the police caught him and we can confirm this thing. By the way, Armando had a history before Mia's case. For example, in March 2021, he tried to have a relationship with a girl and was sending her messages, but she also rejected him. When she rejected him, he broke the window of her house, and another time he set off a small explosion made of a water bottle in a high school with the intention of pranking her. He was not healthy at all, and the last thing I will say is that, unfortunately, after the autopsy was done, we do not know the cause of death or the method of death, because when they saw the body, it had been there for a long time and it was decomposed, so they did not know how she died. A story that is considered very sad, and do not forget to pray for me, Mia Marcano, and here we have reached the end. Do not forget to like and subscribe.